We're Hallow Point from St. Louis, Missouri, and this is the Underground Sessions.
What is the biggest misconception of being in a band?
That it's easy.
Yeah, and that it's all fun and games for sure. You know, people don't realize all the behind-the-scenes stuff that goes on with being in a band. You know, especially when you're touring and doing all this other stuff outside of your hometown. It's definitely grueling. But, I mean, there is a lot of fun times because I think the most important thing is just to have fun with your friends in that, and it'll be a lot easier.
Yeah,
Definitely.
I think a lot of people see, like, what's on the surface, obviously, like us playing a show, us hanging out, having a good time, having a few drinks together, whatever, but they don't see all the back workings that's going on and everything that goes into getting to that point.
Yeah, especially nowadays when you have to pretty much do a lot of it yourself. You know, you got to promote, you got to get people to the shows, you got to drive to the shows, you got to figure out financially how you're going to be able to survive while going to the shows, loading, unloading, setup. Like,
That's
there's
why
a lot of deadlines. Yeah.
Unloading.
Our passion is actually loading and unloading the
We're
trailer.
pros at that.
Takes you, what, about 10 minutes to load, if that? Load in?
We wish.
Yeah. When you have five people loading in all the stuff that we have, takes quite a bit of time, you know. So it can be very challenging. But I think we've gotten it down pretty good. You know, our speed has gotten a lot better. I think on all those.
We're considering hiring free interns.
Yeah, we're looking for free interns right
Pay
now.
an experience on
We pay you in friendship.
High fives.
So you're saying music is not all sex, drugs, and all that stuff?
The 80s are long gone.
Yeah.
No.
Well, most of it now is how much you can be in front of people's faces and on the road.
Yeah.
So you know, we're doing this week run, and then we're doing a couple week runs up here in September and October, and it's literally how many shows you can book in a short amount of time to meet as many new people as possible, and that's kind of the objective right now for us at least. So.
For sure.
And money comes when?
It comes.
We're still trying to figure that out.
Probably never.
That's why you just keep battling through everything, and you keep grinding it, and I think it eventually will. I mean, being in a metal band, being in a band is already kind of financially tough, but being in a metal band, it makes it that much tougher. So it's slower progress, but there is progress there.
What's going on, Crestwood? Let's keep this going! Woo!
Past year, you guys were finalists for the Metallica opening slot. You released Beyond Our Name, and you obviously are currently touring. What challenges have you dealt with as Hallow Point has grown?
Trying to meet deadlines, I guess that's one of them that we set ourselves. I guess.
Mhm. Yeah. And well, it's important to set deadlines. Yeah. The other challenges is just how much you have on your plate. Again,
Right.
we don't have anybody on our marketing team or anybody else kind of helping behind the scenes stuff. So it's all us.
Yeah.
So the challenges become, it becomes you got to do this, you got to do that, you got to do that. Well, this thing is lagging. We got to do that again. So it's we're all trying to delegate who's doing what.
Yeah,
and all that.
That's a perfect word.
Yeah, all that on tops of having lives and jobs.
Yeah, and you have to play the show.
Yeah, and to play the show.
Yeah, I mean, it first when we played music, it became 100% music. Now it's probably 10% music and
90% business.
Yeah, and a lot of it, I think one of the bigger challenges, like when we first were starting out, it was okay, this next week this is what we need to do, and now we're at a point where it's like, okay, over the course of the next several months we need to do all of this, and we need to roll this out at this time, and we need to be prepared for this, and okay, at this time we're going to be doing this. So it's a lot more like forward thinking and planning rather than just more spur of the moment.
And one challenge that I think that we all face is always coming up with new things to put out there for people, because a lot of people have short attention spans, including ourselves. So it's what new can be put out there that's just going to again be in people's faces and something that's relatable to them and personal to them.
Yeah,
So,
and interesting too. Like don't just dump out content, just
Yeah.
to dump out
it's
content.
got to be good quality content.
Yeah.
So instead of just music, you're talking more about like little, Facebook Live videos where you guys go
what have you?
I mean, I've seen you guys
promo
do it all,
videos.
so.
Yeah, promo videos help. We feel like and
music videos,
music
like
videos.
just anything you can think of, interviews like this,
Spotify
or,
playlists,
stuff
like that.
Review
And
sites.
doing it on a consistent basis too.
For sure.
Yeah.
Keep on.
You don't want to, like I said before, you're in a metal band. Your audience is already slim, so you got to keep them wanting more. You got to keep their attention to the fullest. So always stuff coming out.
Do you think having a street team would kind of help that out?
We definitely have some people in Kansas City, and we've thought about, actually people in Kansas City hand out stuff after shows, so having a street team like that helps. But sometimes when we're talking about like our social medias, we like to be in control of that for sure.
Yeah. A lot of it, we're finding a lot of it's quality control because we're all extremely particular. And when I say extremely, I mean
Too extreme because like we'll type of status and we'll be like, don't say that word, use this word.
Rearrange.
I don't like that.
It doesn't flow right.
Yeah.
It doesn't sound good. And like it goes down to the nitty gritty details. And anytime we try to outsource anything, we always have issues and problems, and we end up going back and either redoing it ourselves or giving them so many corrections that they don't want to talk to us afterwards.
Are we good out there this evening? All right, well, we are Hallow Point from St. Louis, Missouri. Here with you fine people this evening. Make some noise. set. So this next song, it goes out to each and every one of you, and is a new song off our EP. Is entitled Blistering.
Woo!
factors do you think matter most for the longevity and staying power of a band?
Don't stop.
Yeah, I think Brandon's right. I think you're at a point now where we've built up a little bit of a following, at least in St. Louis for sure, Kansas City, and a couple times around the Midwest. Where now it's more about hitting places multiple times and consistently being people. We're coming to your town. We're playing a show. We're coming out with this new song.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of those things where if you go away for a few months, you might lose
Lost
a
that
little bit.
momentum.
You might lose everything. You know,
Yeah.
you never know. So it's constantly going, constantly keep
Right.
moving.
Yeah, you got to be resilient. You got to, like a band like As I Lay Dying, when they were a band, they had like something 10 to 15 member changes. They could have just been after the first couple, they'd have been like, all right, we can't handle this. We've lost great friends in this. But they just kept going and going, and they found the right guys, and they made something of themselves. Obviously not anymore, unfortunately.
Not the
But
best example.
but,
Yeah.
but no, but it's as far as like the jumping off point.
Yeah, no,
definitely,
yeah, it's-
definitely. To get to that next level, you just have to keep grinding it out.
It's
Yeah.
continuity too, you'd say as well,
Yeah.
right? I mean,
Yeah.
obviously, you guys all have to have the same vision going forward,
For sure.
compared to just oh, I just want to play it today.
Right.
Which is really important you say that because when we get together, obviously we have our disagreements on things, but as far as like the big picture we were talking about, I think all 5 of us are kind of on the exact same page, which is crazy because whenever I'm doing work with anything else, it's like, oh, I may not disagree with you about X, X, and X, but I think we do a really good job of, okay, we might have some petty differences here, but we're all looking towards the same objective of making this as big as possible and getting the best sound or whatever else we may be doing at the time, which is key to have everyone on the same page.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, like no one's intent is for the band to fail, so you have to realize when you're working through problems or situations, it's because they just have a different perspective on what's the best approach to the situation.
No, you're wrong.
Shut your mouth. Where do you guys see yourselves in the next year? What do you have coming up?
Quite a bit.
Shows.
I mean, we're playing more shows.
Yeah.
We're doing this run here in August, and then September we have another week-long run, and every weekend we're playing out-of-town shows, and same with October.
Yeah.
We're going to keep playing out-of-town shows until it gets cold, until it's snowy on the ground and everything else, and then we'll write new music.
Yeah, we're planning on like during the winter months rather than driving through ice and snow and risking our lives through that. Gonna start writing and trying to see if we still got it.
Yeah.
I would hope so.
Do you guys ever worry about oversaturating yourself in your own area?
Yes.
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah. We try to do our best now. This month is a bad example, but like playing hometown shows, it just so happened that we scheduled a hometown show that we felt was a different crowd for us, so we took it. So in the early month of August, and now we did this run with As Shadows Collapse. So we're like, yeah, we'll bring it to our hometown, and then so we're opening them for Devil Driver at the beginning of next month. So yeah, that might be a little too many shows for our liking in our hometown, but
We're always
And
we're definitely cognizant.
And now we have the focus of out-of-town shows after
Yeah.
that. So we don't
Yeah.
have anything in St. Louis after that planned for another 2 months,
Yeah.
which is part of it.
When you guys were coming up, how often did you guys play shows at home?
Anytime and every time.
Yeah,
Did you do that
anytime.
every
3
week?
weeks?
Every
Because
weekend?
it was just get your name out there,
Yeah.
build up somewhat of a
And
following.
You have to,
Learn how to play a show. Too.
Yeah.
you got to get the reps in.
Yeah, the biggest thing, like when people talk about, oh, we don't want to oversaturate like the area or the markets, like, well, if nobody knows who you are, you can't oversaturate
Right.
it. So,
Yeah.
like, it's literally just when you're first starting and trying to build like a fan base or whatever it may be, it's playing as many shows as possible, getting your name out there as much as possible. And then once you have that following, people that are consistently coming to your shows, then that's when you start spacing it out, so there's still like a demand there for it, rather than, oh, I just saw those guys last week, why would I go again?
Right. If they're probably going to be here in another 2 days.
Right.
So.
In 15 years from now, when people go, I want to see Hallow Point, shit, they're going to play 10 dates this year. So I got to get one of these dates to go out there. You guys make millions, it's all.
We'll see.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's way down the road. That's way down the road if
It's
it
a
ever
great
comes
thing
to
to
that.
think about, though, but
Yeah.
goals.
Goals.
You got to have lofty goals, right?
Absolutely.
Right on. Now we got one more for you, but I want to dedicate this one. I want to dedicate to Evan. I want to dedicate it to Molly and Aaron for coming out. Thank you so much. And lastly, I want to give a shout out to the boys and As Shadows Collapse. It shows with them all week long, and man, they fucking bring it, so stick around for them. They're kick ass. So this one goes out to them. It is called Acedia.
country of the United States is not an option.